You've hit Beltline Construction, brought to you by Calvin College Media Production. Here's your host, Grand Rapids personal trainer, Mighty Joe.
All right, welcome back to episode 9 of Beltline Construction. Time flies, doesn't it? Anyway, I am Mighty Joe Stankowski from GrandRapidsPersonalTrainer.com. Today we're going to talk about a whole different side of training than you typically see in a gym. When you go to work out, it's typically go, go, go. Let's keep moving. Let's produce force. Let's lift against weight and really try to produce some kind of force. Today we're going to flip everything over and we're going to actually reduce force. And the whole idea is going to be to actually decelerate very quickly. A traditional sort of way you might see a bodybuilder type person training in a gym would be to lower a weight very, very slowly. And they call that a negative or an eccentric contraction. And what we're going to do today is we're going to actually take a bit of power to that. So we're going to do the same types of movements, but we're going to have to decelerate quickly using our own body weight for today. Lots of ways you could actually do these in your home. And we're working with the small confined space of a dorm room, an apartment, anything you might be working with that's just a small space in the home. Assuming you don't have the access to a completely functional gym, you don't need it really. I mean, it'd be great if you have it. It's a tool. It's nice to have a fully loaded toolbox. If you got a hammer and some duct tape, you could do a lot of stuff. And that's what we're going to do today. Big reason we're going to talk about this stuff too, as far as decelerating. Imagine I'm standing on a curb. We're walking down some stairs. And if I step and I misjudge the height, I have to really catch myself very quickly. I don't have time to contract slowly, like if I'm doing leg extensions in a gym on a machine or some slow controlled squats. You need to have the ability to react very quickly. And there's this big push, especially with older, people starting to get to the baby boomer age, where they start to train with the idea of getting their bones more dense, so that way when they fall, they don't get hurt. I say, why fall? Let's avoid falling in the first place. So I'm going to have my helpers here, Stephanie and Travis, come in. We're going to demonstrate a concept really quickly, and then we're going to put it to work and show you what this sort of training is all about. So I have Travis have a seat in this really high-tech piece of equipment. It's called a chair. Most people have something that looks a lot like this in their home, might have wheels on or something, but we're going to have a chair. We're going to have you do, I'm going to give you a challenge. This is going to be a really tough challenge now. I want you to stand up, but before you do, I want you to be able to do this without leaning forward and without shifting your feet back. Because there are some shortcuts to this we could do, but I'm going to see if Travis could stand up without moving his base of support under his own center of gravity. And you can see he's training, he's working. I don't know if you can tell. You can see the sweat coming off. He had to lean forward to do this. And this is one of the ways we can get ourselves to move, is by leaning forward first. What it's going to do is going to put a stretch in these muscles in his back to help kind of spring him up. A lot like a trampoline or I guess a rubber band. What do you call it? A slingshot sort of things. You get the stretch and boom, it can go. And so by doing that, that's one way we could produce force, is we go the opposite direction of where we want to go first, and then we shift to the direction that we actually want to go. So that's just a quick demonstration using a chair. Of course, we have center of gravity is like way out of whack on this example too, but just to give you the idea, that's what we're doing. So we're getting a stretch in the muscles, which helps us produce force in the direction we actually want to go. So we've got some different exercises we could do that really kind of put this to work. And the first one is going to be just a simple, like a lunge, where we just do from the floor right now and have Stephanie demonstrate this one. So do a lunge, but rather than focusing on the coming back up, I'm going to step out far and hard and heavy and catch as low as you can and stick it like a gymnast. Like when you jump off whatever those crazy beams are called. There you go, get the little arm wave, there we go. So I'm going to stick it and land low. And we want to try to avoid hitting the floor with that back knee. Perfect. I'm going to do a few more of these. And then there's a lot of ways you can make the same exercise a little bit more challenging, and Travis is going to come in and put his muscles to work for this one. Good. And so just step out, decelerate, put on the brakes. And however you have to get back up, if you need a stick or a pitchfork in the ground to push yourself back up, or push off of some furniture, that's fine, because we're putting a whole different kind of load in these muscles to actually stop you. It's throwing the brakes on. So I have Stephanie jump out of the way and put Travis up here on the step. This is another way we can make it a bit more challenging, is by going higher. Because gravity, it pulls us down, let's just say. Gravity drags us down. So you get a bit more range of motion. Whoa, and we fall backwards. And there we go, and we're really sticking it low. And now what Travis is doing here too, this is really great. When we walk, we have this opposite sort of thing. Like our right leg goes forward, our left arm swings forward, and vice versa. It keeps going back and forth. So when you're landing, when you're sticking this landing, you do what Travis is doing. Your right foot goes forward, that right arm is going to come out. I don't know right from left today. You're going to have that right arm come out. There you go, good. And so we're going to put tension on the back and the shoulders and the hips and everything that kind of work together just the way we would in real life. And theoretically, it gives us a bit more balance to work with, a bit more stability, and we've got that. So far, so good. So we've got that move. And I just call it a step, drop, and stick. Just again, gymnast sort of mindset that you want to hit it, stick it, and then there we go. And however we have to get back up, we do that. We're not emphasizing the up, we're emphasizing the down and the putting on the brakes. Stephanie's a push-up champion from way back when, so we're going to have her demonstrate this next one. I just want to have you get into a kneeling position. She's going to be sitting straight, so 90 degrees at the knees. What we have to do is just put her arms out in front of her and drop and then catch yourself again, much like they just did with this lunging movement. Going to drop and stick it, good. And we don't want to hit the floor with her face. And if you're working with hardwood floors or marble or anything like that, any kind of tile, you don't want to eat the ground. Might not be a bad idea to have some sort of like a cushion underneath you the first couple times doing this. And so she's decelerating. She's not producing force, she's reducing force. And it's just so important if she wants to actually produce force to have the ability to stop movement first. Good job. Okay, now I have Travis jump in. We'll throw Stephanie out of the way, give her a little break for a minute. We talk about training in 3 planes of motion. You know, we have 3 planes in the real world, yet you go to a gym and most equipment, most exercises are geared towards this direction. They tend to be very lower body dominant, whether it's a bike or a treadmill or a cross trainer. It's always this way, and it tends to be lower body. So we're going to try to get lower and upper body integrated to some degree. And we're going to try to work sideways now for Travis, which is, I guess my sideways is this way, your sideways is that way. So what we have him do is just throw this band over him. It's a rubber sort of training band, a little bit bigger than the one that comes on your newspapers. And we put a little bit lower on your hips for right now to start. There you go. What we're going to do is the exercise starts away from me. So if I have you step to your left, we're going to put some tension on the band right now. So right here, he has to work just to not come back towards me. So if I have you take like a quick shuffle step towards me and then stop. Good. So he's putting on the brakes. If there's still tension on the band, come back towards me again. Good. And if you don't have me in your house, as most people don't, you could attach a band like this to anything solid, stationary, and there's doorway attachments you could work with. You could wrap around a flagpole if you want. Just anything that's not going to come whipping over and knocking you out. So same movement. Another way we can make this a little bit more challenging, which Travis already started jumping on this one earlier, I want to have you put a little bit higher up. So it's a little higher in his body now. So the center of gravity, I should say the direction of pull here is higher up. So we have leverage really working against him. So same thing, want to keep your body upright, shift your side, there we go. So it's a core exercise, it's a hip exercise, it's a Travis exercise. When you're doing this stuff at home, it's, you know, you want to work you. You don't want to work, you know, a muscle. You don't want to work biceps one day and then back another day. Good. So yeah, so you can see it's starting to get almost pulled over a little bit because the resistance is so tight on him. So now what we want to do, because we still have a few minutes to go, I want to take this into the concept of how do you integrate this into your regular workouts. Chances are, hopefully, by now, you're already doing something, whether it's in your home or in a gym and doing some sort of exercises. This doesn't have to be an entire workout by itself. You could actually integrate this into your regular workout. So if I could have Stephanie, we're going to start with you. I just want to have you do some squats, and we'll just imagine for purposes of home that she's got, I don't know, 400-pound barbell on her back. She's holding some dumbbells. She's just doing a traditional squat as we know it. So there's nothing special about this relative to what we're talking about today. Looking good. And we're going through her good range of motion because she has, of course, her ankle mobility issues, but she's still doing great. I think you're actually getting better over the course of this show.
Really?
You should be on the show more often. Okay. So there we go. So she's sitting down. We're going to, you know, just 10, 15 repetitions or so. What we're going to do is follow this basic exercise, this basic squat exercise, lower body dominant, very single plane, you know, sagittal plane movement that we call this. And we're going to follow it up with this eccentric, this deceleration sort of move. So right now, let's take it to the step if you can. And try to do like we have at Travis too with that opposite arm going forward. So there you go, good, and land and stick it, nice. And so this is how you put these movements into a regular workout. You could use it as a follower. How fast do you go from one exercise to the next? Really depends on your goals, depends on how hard that first set was. You know, she was just doing body weight with the squat. So if she can handle her own weight for 10, 15 reps, she could probably handle a few more of these pretty quickly. But now, if you're a very extreme sort of athlete and you're training really heavy, you might need as much as 3, maybe even 5 minutes in between the first set and the second one. Looking good? So let's take a break from there and try to squeeze Travis in here with some push-ups a little bit. So if I just do regular push-ups, just like Stephanie did the squats, just some push-ups as we know them, tall through the spine, leading with your chest, good. It's a fine-tuned machine here, isn't it? Okay, so we're gonna give it about 8, 10 reps or so, just because we're running short on time. And from here, we're gonna drop into those deceleration push-ups. So you're gonna sit up nice and tall, catch yourself as low as you can, put the brakes on, ooh, there we go. We'll get a few reps to this. I'm going to start wrapping this up because I know we're getting short on time. This is really the precursor to what we call plyometrics, explosive type training. Last episode we did some stuff where we really explode. This episode we're doing some stuff where we're really decelerating quickly. Next time, come back to Beltline construction again, we're going to put it all together. We're going to decelerate and quickly re-accelerate. And that's the whole idea of fitness, being able to put all these exercises together into movements, not getting hurt, staying strong and lean and mean. Again, we're going to have to wrap up now. Travis might get a couple more reps out if you can, unless your chest is about to fall apart. I am Mighty Joe. This is Beltline Construction. Till we see you next time, train like you mean it. Keep rocking on here, Travis. Let's go.